Let's flip it over to the Bears. They get Keenan Allen. They pair him up with DJ Moore. They lost Darnell Mooney to the Falcons in free agency earlier this week. They've got Gerald Everett, former Charger. DeAndre Swift signed right out of the gates. 10 minutes into the tampering period, a multi-million-dollar deal is negotiated from scratch by the Bears for DeAndre Swift. They don't have a quarterback. Well, they have Justin Fields. But all of this points to what became obvious when we were in Indianapolis, that they're going to take Caleb Williams with the first overall pick in the draft. The one move they haven't made this week, and I don't know when they're going to make it, is Justin Fields. When and how and where do they turn Justin Fields into another draft pick? Replenish the fourth rounder they gave up for Keenan Allen. And it feels like at this point, that's the best they're going to do. And I don't know, on the surface, if we would have been told after the regular season ended, the Bears are eventually going to essentially swap Justin Fields for Keenan Allen, we would have thought it was a joke. But here's where they are, doing what they can to make the team better, but kind of stuck in this weird limbo because they can't find a trade partner for Justin Fields.
You know, Mike, there was a point where we thought Caleb Williams might not want to play for the Bears. And now you look at that offense and you're going, who wouldn't want to play for the Bears? I mean, you have two receivers who are number one receivers in Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. What they've done at the receiver position over the last 2 years has been nothing really short of amazing. This stat really got me, Mike. Keenan Allen in his career has 10,530 yards in his career. The Bears' all-time leading receiver is Johnny Morris at 5,059 yards. They have two receivers better than anything they've ever had in their organization. And whatever quarterback that is, we're all presuming it's going to be Caleb Williams, walks into that door. He has these two great receivers in front of him. They could be like the Texans were last season. They could rise up and win that division, and all of a sudden we're talking about the Bears because their defense was already good. That's Matt Eberflus's specialty, and their defense was good last season. And I think they are way better, going to be way better on offense with the addition of Keenan Allen. Caleb Williams walks in. If he's what everybody thinks he is, he's got these two receivers right away and an explosive offense. This team could be sneaky good next year.
I tried to get Caleb Williams to look into the camera 2 weeks ago when we interviewed him at the Scouting Combine and say, I will only play for the Minnesota Vikings. He would not do me that favor. Because in 50 years of being a fan of the National Football League, discovering it on the day that Franco Harris caught the ricochet off of Jack Tatum and took it in for the touchdown, and then becoming, instead of a fan of the Steelers, a fan of the Vikings when I was 8 years old because I'm messed up in the head in many ways. The Bears have always been that team that are just kind of there, except for that one little blip, that aberration when it all came together for them in 1985, but fell apart almost as quickly as it came together. It was like a comet streaking across the sky. It's been the Bears aren't very good. Yeah, they went to the Super Bowl that one year, but nobody even remembers it. I don't even think the Bears remember it in 2006 with Rex Grossman. That's another aberration. Haley's Comet's come around twice for the Bears in the past 50 years. And it just feels like now they're on the brink of something. And I remember from 5 years ago when the first game of the season was in Chicago. I'd never been to Chicago. We were in Chicago for several days. And it's kind of like Chicago is this perfect hybrid of New York and Pittsburgh. And it just oozes football. And you understand why the old Superfan skit on SNL worked. I mean, they love football. And Soldier Field, it disappoints me that they're thinking about and they're intent on a new stadium. Soldier Field is the perfect place to be. And those fans, it pains me to say it, the 8-year-old version of me would never say this or even entertain the thought, but those fans deserve better than they've gotten over the past 50 years. And they're getting it now, at least the potential of it, when they upgrade to Caleb Williams and they have these receivers and they've had, a good defense, good enough. You just don't have an offense. Like you said, when the leading receiver in franchise history is less than 6,000 yards. That's a problem. And they haven't had a franchise quarterback since Sid Luckman. They really haven't. Sorry, Jay Cutler, you didn't do anything by way of winning. You went to one NFC championship game and lost to Aaron Rodgers. He's not the franchise quarterback they thought he was going to be. He's not. Jim McMahon, it wasn't him. It wasn't him that won that Super Bowl in 1985. It was the defense. I mean, he was a special player in his own way, but he wasn't a franchise quarterback. He wasn't a guy that transformed the team and carried the team the way that we see a Patrick Mahomes and a Josh Allen do. I feel like we can see that now in Chicago with Caleb Williams. And Bears fans should be happy, but I think also if I was a Bears fan, I'd also be a little bit leery, like what's going to go wrong here? Is he going to say, I don't want to play for the Bears? There's been no indication he doesn't want to play for the Bears. And like you said, why wouldn't he want to play for the Bears?
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. I look at this team and I like what they've done in free agency and with this trade for Keenan Allen. I like what they did last year. Now, I was a proponent last year. I thought they should have traded Justin Fields last year and drafted C.J. Stroud. Of course, they might have taken Bryce Young and they wouldn't have gotten DJ Moore. So as it turns out, this could really be a great 2 drafts for them back-to-back that really rebuilds this team and rebuilds it in a hurry, because I think this is a team that can be good right away because that defense was already good. They're already keeping them in games. It was a matter of the offense scoring enough points to win. And I think they will now. Now, it all relies this year on Caleb Williams being a CJ Stroud and lighting it up right away. And we don't always see that with rookie quarterbacks. Sometimes it takes them more than a year. But I think he will. I think he will come in, and with the weapons he has, I think he has an opportunity, Mike, to put it together this year with this team, and they have a chance to win that division. I know what Detroit is. I know they went to the championship game, and you know I love Dan Campbell, but I do think the Bears are going to threaten the Lions this year.
Hey, that NFC North, Kirk Cousins knew what he was doing when he got the hell out of there. Put me in the division where it's none of the above, not in the division where every team is a contender, and one of them is destined to finish in 4th place in that division, and it very well might be the Vikings when you look around at the quality of the other teams right now. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.